Hey guys, so welcome to another week of WoW Weekly with Myst. And this week is one hell of a week for events. There is a lot of stuff going on. So Brewfest is still going on. It'll be active until October 6th. So I've got a bunch of videos on the channel, everything actually. There's, all the videos together cover everything you might be looking for in Brewfest. They are right on the homepage, so it's really easy to find, and I'll keep them up till Brewfest ends. And then there's also going to be the Eastern Kingdoms Cup that is going to start this week. That starts on October 4th. And it's gonna end on the calendar, it says October 17th, but on other sources, it says October 28th. So, let's just say it's there for at least 2 weeks, maybe 3. You need to be at least level 30 to take part in this one. You don't need to own Dragonflight, which is very weird, but you don't need to have Dragonflight to get it or to participate in the event. As far as where do you pick it up, if you're Alliance, you'll just go to the Trade District in Stormwind to pick up your quest, and it will be Lord Andistra's. And then if you're Horde, you're just going to go over to the Zep Tower on the north side. And that one's in Orgrimmar. Also, you will still be able to get it in Dragonflight as well. You might remember that for the Kalimdor races, you could go right into Valdrakken. So if you do have the Dragonflight expansion, you can get it that way as well. So the race itself is going to work just like Kalimdor did. So for those that didn't do Kalimdor, it's a bunch of races. Bronze gets you 1 badge, silver gets you 2, gold gets you 3. And as far as the rewards, it looks like half of them are the same. So the Drake Racer set is in there once again. So that makes the set being part of them all kind of cool. You can eventually just have the full set with minimal effort. There is also the fact that you can use your alts if you need extra currency. As far as new rewards, there is a bunch of customizations for drakes. A lot of them having to do with Winding Slither Drake, and then there's one that's the Windborn. As you can see, they're kind of different costs. The first 2 up there are 50, and then there's the cost of 25 for the rest. And there is also a Valdrakken Accord insignia that you can buy with 10 currency. If you are working on your rep, it gets you an extra 50. So here is the set that you're going to be hitting up for the Eastern Kingdom Cup. So it's 14 races, and it has normal, advanced, and reverse mode. Turbulent Timeways. So I'm just going to direct you to the video I did on Turbulent Timeways. But for the most part, in quick form here, it's a 5-week event. We've already done the first week, so this is week 2. It has to do with time walking, which is also available this week. And this week's time walking is going to be Burning Crusade, which of course is, also has a raid attached to it. Basically, if you just want the credit for Turbulent, you're looking at 4 time walking dungeons of BC this week. And that will get you your credit for this week on Turbulent Timeways. And it does get you a mount. This is it on screen. And aside from that, if you want some more info, definitely check out my video. Dark Moon Fair is also going on this week. So good week for leveling, because Turbulent Timeways serves as a leveling event as well. Battlegrounds is going to be this week, so you got that going on. And then also PvP Brawl will be this week, and it's, PvP Brawl's every week. It just alternates the event, but this week's PvP Brawl is Cooking Impossible. And that is all the events. And not to add an extra one to the list, but I did promise Stream that we would put together an event on the week of Dark Moon. So to add another event, I will be scheduling in a Saturday stream this week. So this event, the idea of it, because the last time, it's been a while since I've done a community event. The last one we did was the Hive Mind, when it was the new thing. And every so often I like to do events to help you guys get stuff and all that. This was an unexpected event. The purpose wasn't to actually make an event. I was streaming one day and I asked a couple of people if they wanted to help me with a couple of videos I wanted to record that require more than just me. They're not soloable content. And so they said, yeah. So I made a day out of it. I said, in a couple of weeks, I'll schedule it and we'll do it. Saturday's a great day for everyone being around. And yeah. And along the way, a couple of people just would, mention them struggling on other stuff. So one of those struggles that one of the viewers mentioned was Argus. He says he has trouble getting past one of the bosses in the Antorus raid, and he doesn't have the skip. And, as someone who does have the skip, it's really nice. Like, if you want to just farm the mount, it's nice if you can avoid those bosses, right? So I did say that we would do that. So that will be an extra thing we're doing. And yeah, so let's just call this the event, the unnamed event, because I have no idea what we're really doing. I just know, I know the videos that I need help with recording, and that'll probably be the first thing we do so that the main reason is out of the way. Then we can run Antorus. And then if you guys want to do anything else, we can make it a full-on viewer day. And yeah, if you guys want to run some dungeons, or you want to, put together, you want to do some achievements, like, we can do whatever for that day once, once those three things are done, because I've committed to those three. And yeah, so that's what's going on for that Saturday. It does serve as an extra event. It's just not a Blizzard event. It's a Mist of Darkness event. But yeah, I just thought I'd add that into the list. And yeah, definitely, I'll probably have that on the channel midweek, so you can find out what time it's occurring at and all that. Also, depending on how many people do show up, we could do a raid event if you guys want. I know that's sometimes a thing that people want. But I am a small-time creator, and I don't commit to unplanned raids. I only commit to raids when when it's my own friends that are committing to it and I know they will show up. But when it comes to a stream, yeah, we'll wing it at that point. If there's enough people there that want to do a raid, we can go run a normal or heroic raid. And yeah, same with M+. If there's 5 of us that want to do an M+ dungeon, I'm okay with that as well. Okay, so the first piece of news is the Zipao Toger pet. This is a Prime Gaming loot, so I've done a video on this one as well. But it's pretty straightforward. Like, yeah, just it's Prime Gaming and World of Warcraft kind of working together to get you a reward. So yeah, it was previously a recruit a friend item. And yeah, so just link your accounts together, get Prime if you don't have it. Doesn't cost too much, and you get Prime Video with it and stuff. I just always have Prime because, I I like Prime Video, so yeah. And I do a lot of Amazon shopping. But anyway, yeah, free pet if you got it. Any additional info can be found in my video, which I'll link at the end of this. Okay, so it's a new month of the trading post. As for tasks this month, the trading post is real easy for tasks. Like, I know it's always easy, but it's super easy this week because you got, or even this month, because you got Dark Moon happening. If you manage to take advantage of it, literally the day before I would post this video, so, you know, give or take there. But Harvest Festival did have one or two, you know, attached to it. But there's lots for Brewfest. There's lots for Dark Moon. Hollow's End that's coming up. There's going to be a lots for that shows up in the middle of the month. And then there's some for like doing the Dream Surge. And yeah, it's very easy to get your 1,000 points on the trading post, you know, task board. So very easy. I know a lot of people that pretty much like logged in. They had like at least 500 and then they just kind of did the rest and had done in a day, right? Yeah. Which you can always do it in a day, but you need to, you know, usually it'll take a little more effort than that to get them all done in a day. So it's a good time to do it, especially this week because Brewfest is still going on. You get like 150 alone just for killing Corrin. So yeah, very, very easy. And then another 100 if you're holding on to at least 100 currency. Okay, so here on screen is the broom mount that we have been talking about for a while now. It is 100% confirmed now. So this is the reward on the October trading post. So you get this for free just doing those tasks. Easy. The way the broom will work, for those wondering if it has an instant cast like the broom mount always did in Hollow's End, the answer is yes and no. Yes, it has an instant cast when Hollow's End is actually active. When it's not active, it's a normal cast. Okay, so as for rewards, we have this mount here. This is the Dim Cold Flame Core, and it is 700 currency. We have a previously shop pet that is Lil Phylactery. And yeah, that one's 650. Worth noting that along with many other items in WoW, some items have two names. So Little Phylactery is the item, and then when you learn it, this pet turns into Lil KT. And then TCG item Imp in a Ball is 350. And then we got some transmogs. So the Webbed Serenite Exoskeleton. This is for the Death Knight. So this is 450. And then matching weapons, 1-hand sword, 2-hand axe, 2-hand sword. That pack is 500. So that is for the Death Knight. Demon Hunter will get the head, shoulders, and waist for 450. And also the weapon pack for 500. Druid will get head, shoulders, and waist for 450. And the weapon pack for 500. There's a recolor of the Blade Fist. This will cost you 525. And then the Headmaster Skull Cap is 500. Headmaster's Command is 500. There's also this staff that has, this staff is like a 2-month timer, but that started last month. So it'll be like the last, it'll be on 30 days now. But yeah, this one definitely has been part of the traders post for a while because you can buy the matching set on the store. So this is the High Scholar Grand Staff for 500. This one's the Morning Star for 450. Caged Eye of the Watcher for 225. Feathered Cowl of the Guardian, 225. Helm of the Fierce is 225. Granny's old hat, 175. Good one for October. Shadowy male tab is 125. Oh, we might be. Do you guys remember the chainmail sets? They were like, they basically looked like bras. But I've been wanting one for my characters. Maybe we're starting to roll into that because this is the first chainmail item. So maybe we're getting close to having those. Well-worn Grimskull is 100. The ensemble, so green cloak, and there's another green cloak, so each one of those is 100. Feathered Drake of the Guardian is 100. Wine-soaked hammer is 75. We got the Shifty Merchant's tunic for 50. The Ensemble Wanderer's lively trappings for 50. And that's it. So that is all the items on the trading post. As always, I usually don't put my opinions on the trading post in the WoW Weekly because I do monthly videos on those trading posts. It's one of our newest series that I do on the channel. And so definitely check that video out. And I will express, my thoughts and all that on the trading post in that one. That video should be fairly shortly because, like I said, it's an easy week. And my next stream is until Wednesday. So I've got time to, record it, edit it, and possibly get it up by the time I stream on Wednesday. So yeah, you will definitely see that sometime this week. I'm not going to confirm Wednesday, but, sometime this week I'll have that video up. So happy purchasing with the trading post. Now for a little bit of 10.2 news. So we got a first look at a new world event that will happen in 10.2. It is called Superblooms. So basically, Superblooms will last for 20 minutes. But rumor is they can be shortened down to like 12. And they happen every hour. And they will give item level 441 gear, 1,000 Dream Wardens rep, and an epic quality dream seed that is used for emerald bounties on the first completion of the week. There's also an emerald frenzy that can happen. That happens right after a super bloom ends, and it lasts for 10 minutes. And it's very similar to the dream surge, when you see like empowered mobs and then you go kill them. And yeah, it's that exactly. Yeah. And then there's also an emerald bounty. So these are non-timed events. Basically, you're required to plant dream seeds and tend to them for 3 minutes. You earn dream seeds by completing the activities in the emerald dream, and then you tend to them by using currency gained during emerald frenzies in the bounty. And these bounties can drop pets and mounts, as well as a currency used to purchase cosmetic items. It's still very early in, guys. I don't know what those pets and mounts are yet, but as soon as I do know, I'll let you know. There's also this staff. So this is a new Amardrassil raid staff. Here's the stats on it. And then we have the retail Arfus pet drop. Now this one I was fucking laughing at Wowhead for, because literally, basically as soon as this got announced, Wowhead did a post being, upset that you were gonna have to do classic to get this pet. There was nothing leading to that thought. Like, there was absolutely nothing making you think you would have to do classic to get this pet. And I just found it very interesting. I've noticed lately, not to shit on Wowhead or anything, when you run a news site, especially a very popular one that pretty much everyone goes to, or at least everyone that, does stuff outside of the game. I guess there's lots of people that probably don't watch videos or look at news and stuff like that, especially with them pretty much putting news on Battle.net now. When you run a news site, I think it's very beneficial that you're accurate with the stuff and you're announcing things that have been confirmed, and I've noticed a lot lately that they're practically like I hate to say it because I don't do this, but they're like a YouTuber. They just do speculations and, they say stuff and then it turns out that wasn't confirmed. And this is a big reason why with my news videos, I don't really announce anything that has no confirmation to it. Like everything I've ever announced that has to do with Wowhead, I have done my research to see how confirmed that info actually is, And this one I wasn't even gonna mention this week, but then it got confirmed later because they were on Twitter basically complaining that you would have to do this in Classic, right? And so Blizzard did confirm it. So the confirmation here is that there's gonna be this cute retail Arfus Pet drop, and it's gonna drop from the Headless Horseman. So it will be during the Halloween event in retail, and it still makes me laugh, like what Wowhead thought, and then other people were thinking because it came from Wowhead, right? That this is why you don't just trust everything you read, but they were under the assumption that you would have to level a high, like to max, and then do the ice crown raid. Like that is what they thought. And I was like, where the fuck do you get that? Like what even made you think that? Like that was never even a thought. I instantly was pretty sure this was going to be a retail pet. Where the speculation for this one came from is there's a feat of strength. It's called the Lick King. And from that, because it was in promotions, they thought it was going to be some cross-promotion thing, right? And, Ice Crown is being released this month, and I can see where their speculation was all coming from, but it's just it's kind of weird. And I think it's a one thing if you're a nobody and you post some speculation, or you're a YouTuber that's known to do speculations, but when people know you for running the biggest, WoW news site, more or less, I think you gotta be careful with your tweets a little more, But anyway, that is confirmed for Halloween. One thing I'd just like to add, and I know Classic is all about no changes. I'm just gonna say there's been plenty of changes in Classic. It's too late for no changes. But what I think they should do is, now that Classic is in Wrath, which brought collection and all that and achievements, I think it's time to stop making retail-only things and Classic-only things. I think we're at the point now where if something releases in retail, it can be in Classic as well, and vice versa. For example, this pet, we get it through the Halloween event. Obviously, for those that don't know, the Halloween event's going to be revamped a bit, which I will do a video on later. But that's probably, that's probably what triggered it. That's probably why there's an achievement, because it's a revamped event. But the thing is, you can still kill that same boss in that same dungeon for that same reasoning in Classic. So I personally see no reason why this feat of strength and this pet can't exist in both versions. Same with shop promotions. Like when these 6-month subs happen, like I'm just going to say I have some cute pets that I can only use when I'm playing Classic and they don't exist on retail, and vice versa. It'd be cool to have some of the retail ones on Classic too, and I just think I'm not asking them to like put everything over there, but I do think that at this point you can stop like making one side suffer. And if you're gonna do like a 6-month sub that has, a pet and a mount, why not just have it in both? Because and they know that there's gonna be people on the other side bitching. Like there's always, especially retail, nothing against retail, but retail's where the collectors are. Classic doesn't really give a shit if they get a mount or a pet because they're playing for content. But retail, there is no content. They're playing for collection, so like they're the ones that are going to care. They're the ones that have mount collections and pet collections and, like I'm just going to say, as someone who's played this game since 2004, from 2004 to I would say 2010, no one even talked about their collection. No one was like, oh, what mounts you got? Or, showing off mounts or anything like that. There'd maybe be like a mount here and there. They'd be like, hey, look what I got. But it's not like it is now. It's a whole different mentality. That's what led them to like immediately think it was Classic, right? Like, yeah, it's because they're worried they're worried that there's going to be a pet they can't collect in retail or a mount they can't collect. Like, that's why they jump the gun so fast. Okay, so next topic is BlizzCon. So I hope you guys saw my post in the community tab. This is a great place for me to just kind of promote my Twitter. I have a couple of Twitters. There's my main page that is Mist of Darkness, but I also run the page that kind of goes with my WoW Weekly series here, and it's called WoW Weekly News on Twitter. As far as the @name is, the name is WoW Weekly with Myst, but the @ is WoW Weekly News. And they had done a last-minute decision this week. That's why I posted it in the community tab. So I do my best to keep you guys alerted all over the place, but you also need to know things exist, right? So definitely follow that Twitter if you're ever curious of random last-minute stuff. Or also, there's the community tab if you just like being on YouTube and you don't want to do the Twitter thing. I do post stuff in that tab. I'm just not sure how great YouTube is at alerting you guys of those posts. But there is that. So they did one last minute batch on Friday, this past Friday. So I hope if you were wanting to do that, you saw my posts or you saw Blizzard's posts or, and so that happened. Let me know if you're, going to BlizzCon. We did get a look at some of the stuff that's going on. So here's all the events. You can see we got community night, spend time together, the March of the Murlocs. I really like March of the Murlocs. Yeah, that's a fun one. Hell's Inc. Buff your inventory. You're gonna get that backpack if you go. Because I have decided not to go this year, I was like really hoping the backpack kind of sucked, and it does. So yeah, because some things you can only get if you go, right? So yeah. There's of course the opening ceremony. The Overwatch World Cup, shareable moments, Dark Moon. I did hear, and this is kind of a bummer, but well, it's a bummer to some people. I guess there's people against alcohol out there. But I have heard that BlizzCon is going to be a dry event this year. So yeah, maybe they had some issues the last time. I don't know. Okay, then there's Meet the New Hero. So there must be a new hero for Overwatch. There always is, though. So play some upcoming content for Dragonflight and Classic. Duel a Dev. Rumble Mania. And that's because of Warcraft Rumble. Which is really interesting because they said they're gonna be showing off Warcraft Rumble at BlizzCon. I'm just gonna say, I have it on my phone, like right now. I think it is hilarious that people in the United States do not have that game, and I, as a Canadian, have it. Because I'm just gonna say, as a Canadian, you get used to getting things second compared to people in the States. So it is kind of hilarious. And there's a guild clash and a bunch of other stuff. So not bad. Definitely, if you are going, my biggest piece of advice is wear comfy shoes because you'll be standing in line. There's going to be a lot of people, especially since they decided to do 3 days of selling this year. Usually they just do 2 days. So that means either one of two things. Either they sold less tickets than usual, so they need a third day to fill up the convention, or they've got more stuff going on. But looking at this, it looks like they have the same amount of stuff as they did when I went last. It does say and more to be revealed, though, so we'll see. I will say that and more to be revealed later probably just means digital goods. I think as far as their events, that's probably all their events laid out on screen there. But, digital always comes a little later. And but we will have news on digital soon because the fact that we have heard what's, the events and we've got the map, which I'll show in a sec here. And, and they've shown what the attendees will get. Yeah, digital is definitely next. So we'll probably know what the digital items are sometime this month. Actually, 100%, because, BlizzCon's like November 3rd and 4th. So for sure, we will know sometime in this month. My guess is probably within the next couple of weeks. The digital is definitely worth it if you play a lot of Blizzard games because they always have stuff for every game. This is the first year they're going to allow streamers and YouTubers to kind of live stream the event. They've always, been very much against that in the past. Because I don't plan on going this year, I will do that. I will stream the event myself and, we can chill and hang out and watch stuff together. Once again, this is the physical backpack. This is not new at all. This was actually the reward or the, ad event item that you got for going to the BlizzCon 2017. So, yeah. So there's also going to be a digital elemental mount. We don't really know what it is yet, but, it's going to be for the digital pack, obviously. And from that picture, clearly we have an idea what it's going to look like. We just don't know what the name of it is. Here's the floor plan if you plan on going to BlizzCon and are curious what it'll look like. Rip Heroes of the Storm, right? Okay, so that's basically that. I got a piece of classic info here. So Nightmarish Emerald Drake is going to be on Wrath Classic. It might be a 6 or 12 month subscription reward. But nothing confirmed. I'll let you know when things are confirmed. I did briefly kind of talk about Warcraft Rumble. I thought we'd add it in the list of news today because honestly, until a friend was actually, talking about it earlier and was like, how can I get my hands on Warcraft Rumble? I didn't even realize I had it. It's not like I was sitting here waiting for Warcraft Rumble, and even knowing I have it, I still haven't installed it. Like I'll give it a try, but I probably would have only given it a try to like show it off to you guys, and I'm not like I don't know, I need to buy some stuff to stream a mobile game. I've never streamed a mobile game before. I don't even know how you do that. So, yeah. And that shit would last so fucking quick because like I can't sit there fucking looking at my phone for that long. Yeah. But I thought we'd add it into the list for those that are interested in it. And, right now it's kind of entered like a soft launch, which is why I have access to it. Basically, it's players in Canada, Australia, Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Norway, and the Philippines that have access to it. I can't believe that the US doesn't have this because isn't it made by a US company? Like what the fuck? Like it's just so crazy. So crazy. So if you're from one of those places, you have it. It's on your phone. I'm an Android user, so Google Play. I don't know what you guys use for Apple. I've never had an Apple phone before. But yeah, you can just go install it. As for anyone who doesn't live in those areas, you can pre-register it to have access. And my guess is that it'll be available on the day they announce it at BlizzCon, like for you guys anyway. Yeah. Okay, so I saved the hot topic for last, and that would be the return of Chris Metzen. So this one I was pretty hyped about. I'll be completely honest that the day we got that news, I did a video and I felt like I was ranting way too fucking long in it, and I just scrapped it. And yeah, but you guys almost got like a dedicated video to this. This is why I need an editor, because, and an editor would just do it because I'd be paying them to do it, right? But with me, sometimes I'm like, do I want to edit through all that shit? Because I already edit so much shit. Like, this is why I need the channel to be making a little more so I can hire an editor. And but yeah, and I definitely don't want to rant too much in a news video that's already probably sitting at 30 minutes, right? So, give or take. So I'm just going to do a little quick version here. So for anyone that's not aware, Chris has been in the business for a long time. He's well known for Thrall in WoW, but he's been in the gaming world since like 1993. And he's done tons of shit. So he's been the voice for Thrall, his most, what most people know him as. But he's also voiced a lot of other things. Like he's voiced Leoric in Diablo and Bastion in Overwatch, and some others, some stuff in StarCraft and all that. So yeah, and a lot of people are hyped for his return because of the ideas he has brought in the past. And I'm very interested. I think people are, while I'm excited for him to be a little more a part of WoW, I also think it's not going to be retail. That's my thoughts, and that's kind of where my rant was going in that fucking video that I chose not to edit. Yeah, it was a huge ass rant. But it felt good to talk about it, so I guess it was kind of like a therapy that day for me, I guess, because, But the rant in short form was that I think he's gonna throw out some ideas for Classic Plus, because, the thing is, what are you gonna do in retail? Like, it's still, even if you give out good ideas, retail is destroyed. Like, I hate to say it, and I still play retail, but I play retail because it's what I've been doing for 19 years. It's kind of like breathing, you just do it, But if he's gonna have like his efforts be meaningful anywhere, it's gotta be in Classic Plus. And one thing with Classic Plus that I also do very much believe is that it needs to be its own client. Like, I don't want to see Classic Plus on top of Classic. Like, we need to start from scratch, because Classic itself has gotten ruined, Like, in my personal opinion, the only good Classic right now is the vanilla Classic. Like, yeah, a lot of you guys know this, but for those that don't know, vanilla has always been my favorite. And then my favorite expansion is BC. But I personally think the game started sucking after those. I don't hate on Wrath, but at the same time, I have always said that Wrath is what started this retail that we have now, where, people don't want to try for anything anymore. So while I'm excited for his return, I'm hoping it's for that. I hope it's for a Classic Plus that will be kind of like a brand new game, because if they just attach it to Classic, I guess if they attached it to the vanilla, but then what if it sucks and then you've ruined vanilla? Vanilla is like the only good Classic going on right now, So yeah, I don't know. I personally think it would be best if they just started with it wouldn't be that hard to just kind of duplicate a vanilla, and then you have the Classic Plus in there with it. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Of course, that would mean yet another WoW client, right? But yeah, with that said, that's my thoughts. So for those that, didn't know, I guess I just kind of went straight into my thoughts and didn't, I think you got the gist of it though. He's returning. He's going to be kind of in the back, giving off ideas and, doing discussions and stuff like that. So yeah, he'll be behind the scenes, but a part of it. And he is going to this year's BlizzCon, which honestly, I think they went around announcing this the total wrong way. If I was in charge of this kind of thing, I would have, since he's going to BlizzCon already, I would have done something like, the banner falls down and it's like vanilla WoW. And, and then he comes out, right? And then you just know he's a part of it again, right? And, this is, granted, I'm so like convinced in my head that he's going to announce Classic Plus. Like, I'm so convinced of it. But, any banner comes down. It could be retail or, Classic, whatever. But I think that would have been the way to do it. The banner comes down, he walks out on stage, and then like he wouldn't even have to say anything at that point. You just know he's back in the game. And that's how I would have announced his promotion, rather than just announcing it on Twitter. It's like, I get it if BlizzCon wasn't around the corner, but with BlizzCon being around the corner, But then, hard to say, because literally, like, days after they announced his promotion, there were layoffs. So there might have been an ulterior motive, you know, because people aren't typically excited about layoffs, but they know that a lot of people do love Chris Metzen. So yeah, it might have been just a way to, cool the surface a bit. So he'll give, a little more info. Basically, the news this week or this past week was that he got promoted to executive creator director for the Warcraft universe. And that's what, like, because they worded it that way, I was like, yeah, there's no way it can't be retail. Like, it's like it could, retail is where the new stories happen, but who knows? It could be for retail or it could be for Classic Plus. Hopefully it's a good thing. It's hard to say because, like, he's not going to come in and save WoW, guys. Like, he is great and he is a huge part of WoW. He's been there from the beginning and he's done some good stuff. But we're in a new time now, and it's not him and his team, it's him and this new team, and this new team is what brought us Dragonflight and Shadowlands, and, so yeah, that's why I think this would be better as a Classic Plus, maybe get a new team in there, but the reality is times have changed. WoW will never be as good as it once was. You're only ever going to get a close second for WoW. But somewhat good content is better than bad content. That's the way I see it. So I still think it's a pro, him coming in and giving off, bouncing ideas and stuff. I do think people are taking it a little too far, though. People literally think he's going to come in and save the game, and I get it. He's, I've been playing for 19 years. I know exactly what he's done in this game, and, I've followed him for quite a while, and, I do think he can do good things. I just think people are crazy if you think that one person's going to come in and just save the game. He'll bring some good things into the game, but this game is beyond saving. Like, don't get me wrong, guys, I love my WoW, but I've been playing since 2004. I've seen the different stages and the downfall, and, like, at this point, if the game were to get saved, it would take 10 years of efforts to actually save it. Which is fine, but, 10 years is a long time to wait for a saved game, So, yeah. But who knows? He could help with it. Anyway, I don't want to rant too much on this. I just wanted to give, like, a quick little thoughts on this. Either or, I think it's a good thing. As far as my accomplishments, I'm just going to kind of quickly shout them out and then we end the video. But just because I think this video might have actually gotten dragged out a little past the 30 minutes. But I went and I bought the last 2 items for my Brewfest, which I should have waited, because then the October trading post showed up and you got 100 points for holding on to 100 currency. But that's okay. It's only 100 currency. I can easily get it with some other task. But I did get that, so I've purchased all the new stuff and we're done with Brewfest. In case you missed it, in the last WoW Weekly, I had showed me getting the Drake cosmetic, so I do have that. And then also I did do my Turbulent Timeways this week, so I have credit on that. I got an upgrade from the level 70 quest, And that's basically it. I spent all week editing, so my bad, guys. I know there was absolutely no streams this past week. I needed it for editing. Yeah, I had so much to edit, but we're back to caught up. There'll be some streams this week, and yeah, this is yet another reason why I need an editor. You know, I love editing my own stuff, but I do too much. You know, I need an editor for my content. Yeah, it's like, it's one thing. Yeah, it'd be one thing if I did like weekly videos, but I don't do weekly videos. I do daily videos, and then I also have like the Stream Clips channel and, you know, a couple of other channels. But as far as it goes with like the gaming channel, it's daily content. Like, it's so much content that I do that I definitely need to get an editor. Yeah. And then once that happens, we can do more streams, because streams get halted because of editing. Yeah, it's not because of recording. I can record and then stream right after. It's the editing that causes the lack of streams. So have a great week in WoW. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.